Welcome to IT by Design's Culture and Career Corner with CEO Sunny Kaila. Today's guest is Dan Testin, Partner Account Manager at ITBD. Today, they chat about Dan's career journey, ITBD culture, and lessons the younger generations of professionals can adopt for their career journey. Over to you, Sunny.
Hi, Dan. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Sunny. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I have been waiting for this podcast because you are so special. And when I'm like, when is Dan going to come to my show? And we are here. We are so lucky to have you here. And I wanted to share with the world, your life experience, your overall, your kind of perspective on life lessons. Like, what have you learned from your journey that we can share with the rest of the world, especially our next generation, that they can benefit from our learnings rather than learning in a hard way. So that's like the purpose. So let's start with getting to know you, Dan. Can you share your life journey, your career journey with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So my background actually comes from the MSP space. I started my career after college as a help desk support technician, eventually working my way up into the system administrative role. What got me there was I actually lived in Colorado for about 6 years. And when I found the MSP out there that I worked for, I was put into a position where I was able to work with another team of engineers who were highly talented and really, really great people. And during my time there, what I discovered was that I really had an affinity towards building relationships and establishing deeper contacts and deeper relationships with my partners. To the point where I wanted to shift my career focus. Instead of doing the actual hands-on engineer work itself, building those partnerships and building those relationships with my customers. And so I moved into a consulting position where I was the primary person that would be responsible for owning those accounts and maintaining those relationships and building a stronger connection, while also overseeing a team of engineers to make sure the actual work itself gets done. And so as I was doing that, I ended up shifting my career focus more towards the customer success and relationship side of things. So fast forward 6 years, I moved back to New Jersey. I worked for another MSP here doing account management before finding IT by Design. And one of the things that I really loved about IT by Design when I found it was the values. Those core values that IT by Design had really aligned with my own and building my career and establishing those goals for myself. And so I came to IT by Design as a customer success representative. And now I'm a partner account manager here. Moving forward, I was able to work with the leadership team and help kind of take our customer success team and grow it and build it and kind of bring it to that next level so that we can make sure that we're providing all the value that we should be providing to our partners. And so one of the things that I really loved about this organization and its leadership team was just that I would have that opportunity to do that. They really care about my career growth and the vision that I have for myself and my team members. And so I'm working towards that and really excited to be a part of a community and a team that can really take this department and take this division of our organization to the next level. And to be a part of that and to help kind of run it and lead it for one of the biggest organizations in the channel is really, really exciting for me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And so I still remember last Build It. You were about to join last year. And you joined in the Build It week. And first time I met you was at Build It. And I'm like, what a coincidence. Dan's start date and our annual conference, Build It, was in the same week. And so that was like your introduction to the team. The way we did your onboarding was, okay, throw you out there at the conference, taking responsibilities for those 3-4 days. And it's like, okay, just learn yourself, Dan. But that was good because we were around you and we were all working there together as a team. And I think the way, like it was probably a blessing at the same time, where you get to shadow all of us, how we function, get to know us, and especially with the relationship guy like you are that you mentioned, then you were able to leverage that in person. We were meeting after 2-3 years to build those relationships. So that's probably a nice segue to our next question. How would you describe ITBD culture now that you're here from over a year and you felt that culture? How would you describe that feeling?
Well, it's very people oriented, and what I mean by that is, the sense of community that I got from this organization, not just from the leadership team, but also from everybody that I've worked with, the colleagues in my department and the colleagues in other departments, all very centered around helping each other out. And I think in order to really produce a great product, you have to have great people, and you have to make sure that you're bringing those people on board. And I think that's very evident in the hiring process, is that really everyone's willing to help each other out, support each other where they're needed. It's not just people that are on the same team, but, cross-functionally as well. I think that when really everybody is successful, that leads to your own success, both personally and for your career. I think that is something that's understood, honestly, by everybody in the organization. And when people help each other out and actually care about each other's success and their growth, and making sure that, the work is getting completed, but you also want to make sure that you're there for each other, really everybody wins. And as we say, it's important to stay happy. That's our core value, and it shows. And I think when everyone kind of follows that core value and is a part of it, it leads to success for everybody on the team. And it's the culture at this organization is one that I have not seen at other companies that I've been in the past, where really the priority is making sure that the employee is taken care of, and that they're successful, and they're happy doing what they do, and giving them every opportunity to succeed and advance to the next level. Whether that's our health by design sessions and life by design sessions, just making sure that people are taking care of themselves outside of work and on a personal level. That's going to bring them back to be really great employees. When people are happy and healthy outside of work, they're going to be happy and healthy at work.
Yeah. Happy home, happy room. Happy home means world, you see world as a happy place as well. And so culture by design is what I was hearing when you were describing that feeling. That is really that sense of community at work, and really being there for each other, helping each other. And we kind of really were very intentional about creating that type of environment with the collaborative way type of practices, training institutions that we bring in, where people understand the value of generous listening, being there for each other, honoring commitments, appreciating, recognizing each other, appreciating each other, that people of gratitude, people of being, where our mindset is very positive when we are dealing with challenges. It's a positive learning mindset that is dealing with challenges. So all those good human values that makes one a great human being is what, like, overall, that's how I think. That's what life is all about. And so that's I'm glad that you feel it this way as well, because that's what we do intentionally. When I always talk about culture by design, and as part of culture by design is creating that human-centric, people-centric culture, and really taking care of people, and even helping them think about their life plans. Their personal life means their personal or their health plan, their career plan, their overall, their family side of the plan, their legacy side of the plan, the four wheels that I normally talk about. Just if life is a vehicle, and life is, having four wheels, and health, family, career, and legacy. Four wheels with balance, air being equally allocating time amongst those four tires of life or four wheels of life will have a really balanced life. Means that your vehicle is moving in that direction with balance, that it's not pulling you to one side. And if you don't do that as a human being, you're not intentional, you're not living life by design, then you can end up, unconsciously end up taking time from one wheel, put it in another wheel. And for example, a lot of time in a career wheel, not in your health wheel. When your health wheel air will go down because you're taking all your health time, which is air equivalent, in the other wheel, then the health of that wheel is go down to a point where you will need a tow truck because now the vehicle will stop moving. So I mean, that's how I kind of really remind myself that, hey, Sunny, make sure that it's a balanced life. And that's what I am always walking towards in terms of getting better and better, and also create that awareness around me at work that life lived with that balance is a good life lived and living with purpose. Now, let's get into talk about life purpose, talk about life by design plans and everything. There are a lot of learnings from there, what you shared. But let's get into more your top 3 life lessons that you have learned so far, Dan, that you have made a lot of progress in your life. During this journey, what are the top 3 life lessons that you would like to share with the rest of the world?
Yeah, absolutely. So really over the course of my journey, I've learned that, hard work and dedication is really what's required to grow your career. And it doesn't matter which industry that you're in. Most often, nothing's going to get handed to you. You have to work towards it. You have to know what you want. You have to have in your mind, what does your future look like? What's that position that you desire? Which direction do you wish to take your career? And you have to put it out there. You have to understand it, and you have to work towards it really every day. There's going to be hurdles along the way. If there's not, I think you're doing something wrong. You have to be able to learn from those hiccups. That's how you're going to grow and get the experience that you need to take yourself to the next level. And then really one of the other things too is building relationships. I think that's one of the most important aspects actually to growing your career, is building those relationships, because you can't do everything on your own. I think that there's a lot of people that believe that they can, and they're holding themselves back. You shouldn't be afraid to ask for help or lean on other people. When everyone supports each other, everyone wins. So build those relationships, work together as a team. Everything is a team effort. The success that everyone has, they've achieved it through collaboration and relationship building. So it's really important that you don't try to isolate yourself. If you need help, don't be afraid to ask for it, and just work on establishing those connections and building those relationships, because that's what's going to take you to the next level. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I believe that the law of attraction is real. And what I mean by that is that your thoughts and your attitude is really what's going to determine your future. If you focus on being negative or telling yourself that something is out of reach or unachievable, then it's going to be. But if you put your goals out there and your desires out there, and you can believe that you can really achieve them, then you can accomplish them. And like I mentioned before, there's going to be hurdles along the way, but if you stay focused on where you want to be and what that next level is for you, then you can achieve those goals. And those positive thoughts, that vision, that goal, that desire that you're working towards every day, that's going to be your future. That's going to be your reality, as long as you don't focus on the negatives. There's going to be negatives. You focus on the positives, you stay true to your vision, and that's going to be your future. It's going to be your reality.
Yeah. So let's talk about those 3 a little bit. So what I heard you say so far, Dan, is hard work, dedication. Number 1, right? There is no substitute for that. Number 2, right, is relationship, right? So without relationships, you cannot be successful. Third is attitude. Your thoughts and attitudes. So hard work, dedication, relationships, and thoughts and attitude. So let's go one by one. Let's share some examples, something that we have done. Like, I want to add my perspective there as well with the three of these. So let's start with hard work and dedication. I truly, truly agree with you. I mean, believe in that. I truly believe in that. And I totally agree with you that there is no substitute for hard work. That's what I share with my children as well, that work harder than anyone around you. Let's talk about this a little bit more. What do you mean? Let's define it a little bit. Dedication, hard work, right? Because almost everyone will say, okay, I'm really working hard. Let's kind of break it down a little bit, what hard work means, where that hard work can help you achieve your life vision.
Yes. So when you have a vision for yourself on where you want to be in your career, or maybe, what the next stepping stone would be to get to where you want to be, there's probably a certain position that's going to come to mind. And where you are right now, most people want to take that next step and they want to work towards that next role. And they think if they just bunker down, like you mentioned, hard work is the key aspect to it. But you also have to be that next position. So if you are a help desk support engineer, let's say as an example, you have to not only put in the time and effort to get yourself trained up to be that next level, but you have to be it before you're officially it, if that makes sense. So what I mean by that is, so looking back at my own career, my own journey, helping kind of lead and run the customer success team here. When I came on board, that wasn't really the position I was in. I was one of the partner account managers, and I was one of the reps here that would work with our partners. But I took it on my own, and I worked with the management team and the leadership team, and I helped get to that next level by putting myself in a position where I am taking the lead. And that wasn't because they've asked me to. It was because that was what I wanted to do. And so I put it out there, I worked towards it, and I was that position, even though I wasn't, right? So for most people, you have to have that idea. Where is it that you want to be in your career? Working hard and being dedicated towards your work on a day-to-day basis isn't enough. You have to be that next position in order to get to that next position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. And so what I heard you say is that it's more, when you are working hard, also you need to overall think about hard work, right? So in terms of some people will create, say, okay, hard and smart work, right? That what I heard you say with, okay, getting in this example, that when making yourself ready by working hard for the next position, right? So that's an example that you use. So that means, you're not just kind of keep, coming in the morning or like working for 14 hours or 10 hours, whatever hours means hard work. But you're intentional about that hard work, that am I focusing on my high payoff activities? And that could be learning for the next level, right? That am I spending time on high payoff activities? And am I being smart about utilizing my time, right? Am I just executing on my calendar, like all the meetings execution, or am I making impact from those meetings? So like working hard with end goal in mind and then being very efficient with your time. Okay, now let's talk about building relationships.
Yes, I was just going to say, putting in that time each day, like you mentioned, what's the end result? Is it just that you put in your 8-9 hours to get through the day? Because you did work hard, but where is it getting you? The next day, you're going to wake up and repeat the same process. Yep. So you have to work hard towards what your goal is and put yourself in a position where each day you're making a little progress towards that goal.
Absolutely. So in the example, when you share that example of next position, so that's at least what success looks like, right? So you have defined that result, that success, that I will work hard, do well, not only with this role, but my personal vision is that my success in the next, for example, year, 2 years is to get to this. So now you know where you're going, first of all. and what do you need to work hard towards? And so I normally say, are you a person of living in effort economy or results economy? There are so many people, like you look at construction sites to a lot of these different professionals. I mean, any profession. In any profession, there are people where there is no problem with hard work, but they have not achieved what they wanted to achieve in life because their mindset is overall just activity completion, not activities completion in reference to the result. So there are a lot of people where they are living in just effort economy. They have putting a lot of hard work, effort, but they are missing the result, reference, and understanding. And there are people where they are living in the results economy. They do put in a lot of effort, but they understand and they're very clear about the success criteria that they want from the hard work. So I think it's really important for us to share with our next generation that be a person who is result oriented, not just effort oriented, and hard work to achieve results, put in that effort is really, really critical. And okay, so now we go into the second one, building a relationship. And I know you're great at it. All customers, all internal our customers, team members, in this very short period of time, you have built that rapport with the team, internal team, and our customer teams. So talk to me about how you do this, man. What can you share which can be repeatable, which can be used by our next generation? How do you go about building a relationship? What is your secret sauce to be effective in building relationships?
Yeah. So, going back to that point where, building relationships is one of the most important aspects to growing your career. Really, in this industry and in many industries, working with people, they're just coming to do their job, right? But they're people inside of work and outside of work, and they're going to need to be able to connect with you on a level where you're not just an employee at this company working with an employee either at the same company or at one of your partners. Understanding that person, understanding what their needs are, understanding how they do business, understanding what their day-to-day looks like. You could put yourself a little bit into their shoes and into their position, and what would it look like to provide help and receive help at that moment in time if you're that individual. So when you're connecting with other team members, right, there's an issue that's going to come up. They're going to need help. You got to be there for them, because at some point in time you're going to need help with an issue that you're facing or a challenge that you're facing, and you're going to want someone to help you, someone who has that experience, someone who's been there and done that. So when you are working with other team members towards a common goal, no one's going to be able to do that on their own. You need to be able to work with other people, and they're going to have their goals and their visions for what their career needs to be, and they're going to need your help along the way. And just as you have your own goals and visions for your career, you're going to need help along the way. So working with other people and establishing those types of connections that just help each other advance, everyone wins in the end. So if I can help, so-and-so kind of hit the next level, that's going to only lead to my own experiences along the way and along their journey and along my journey, that I can then help future people achieve similar goals. And at the same time, when there's individuals within the organization that can help me, that helps them in turn, right? They've helped me. The next generation comes along. Now they have the experience. I have the experience, and we can kind of help that person along the way. When you're working with your customers and your partners, establishing a relationship with them that just goes beyond, hey, here's what I need. Okay, I've addressed your concern and I fixed it. Moving on to the next item. That's great, but that doesn't lead to long-term relationships and success. You need to be able to be someone that they've come to rely on, so that when I'm working with partners, they don't just say, let me reach out to IT by Design because I need help. They say, let me reach out to Dan. I know Dan's going to help me. I know Dan's going to be able to get me the assistance that I need. And when you establish those types of connections with your partners and with your clients, that creates long-lasting relationships. That partner or that client is not going to want to move to another organization because you're not at that other organization. You're at IT by Design. So they want to stick with IT by Design because they have a relationship with the staff and the employees over there. So when you are looking to kind of move your career towards that next goal that you've set for yourself, you have to establish relationships along the way, because you can't do it on your own, like I've mentioned, but you're going to need those relationships at that next stage of your career. You have to build off those experiences that you've put together in the past. You've got to kind of align your goals and your visions along with the goals and the visions that your colleagues have, so you can establish kind of a similar direction and a similar path and help each other get there. And really, what it comes down to is that when you help others and others help you, everyone wins, right? And when you have a staff that's all helping each other and everyone's kind of growing and everyone's kind of advancing their careers, your clients win because they're getting good service and they're getting motivated employees who are happy to be where they are, and they're happy to be working for them because they have a vision that if I'm successful here, this is going to lead me to the next stage of my career. Mm-hmm. And I know that if I were working with an organization and working with a company who has a bunch of employees that are motivated and driven and advancing themselves, I'm going to be getting the best service. I'm going to be getting the people that really want to help me out and really want to work with me to make sure that everyone's successful. They're successful, the client's successful, colleagues are successful, everyone's growing, everyone's advancing.
Yeah, that's that's so beautiful. So what I heard you say is that being helpful, being useful, and being there for other people. And you also mentioned that knowing what they are trying to achieve, and then being useful, helpful, being there to help them achieve that. So it could be the next, you're managing up your manager. So understanding what their vision is, what are they trying to achieve, what are the goals, objectives, and their role, and being helpful, useful, being there for that person. Because now you understand how you can contribute to their success, and that creates mutual success, right? So the mutual success is what I heard when you were saying, let's see how I can add value to the person or help them be, your colleagues, helping them be more successful, where it creates that success as a team, and it's a shared success, it's a mutual success, and everyone is kind of growing, right? At the end of the day, I totally, my mindset, my thinking is pretty much aligned. My grandfather, he said it in Hindi, Punjabi, like my mother tongue. He said, "Put हमेशा दूसरिਆਂ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਪੂਰੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, दूसरिਆਂ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਬਣਨਾ ਹੈ." What that means, Dan, in English is being helpful, being useful, and being more like a useful person for others. If people find you helpful and useful, you are their, you are their kind of first thought when they want something, because they know that if I call this person is going to help me solve the problem, or at least share his resources to really solve my problem. Then that means that person values you and your resources. That person have that trust that you're going to be helping and having the genuine intent to help. So, I mean, it's really great advice that it's really relationships. There is trust that we got to be able to connect with people to build a relationship, not just communicate, but connect, what John C. Maxwell will say. But connecting with people really depends on you being proactive, and you reach out, your outreach to them to understand them as human beings. When you understand a human being, you know exactly how you can connect with them. So being more of probably a better listener to understand people, so that you know what they're looking for, and how can you be helpful, useful to help them create a bigger future, right? When you are creating bigger future for others, I have seen personally that you are automatically taken care of. And let's now go to the law of attraction, because there is a lot to unpack there. When you said your thoughts and attitude determines your success, right? And the law of attraction. So can you talk to me, like, can you define, like, yeah, I have heard about this in the past, but how would you define law of attraction? What is it?
Yeah, so in short, your thoughts determine your future and your reality. So it's very easy oftentimes to, especially when you doubt yourself, to have negative thoughts or to have doubts about yourself and the direction that you're going and the work that it may take to do it. And a lot of times negative thoughts can start to creep in. This is too hard. I don't think I can get to this position. And if you start having those thoughts, then you've already failed, because now you won't be able to get to that position because you've put in your mind that you can't. So if you focus on positivity and you realign your perception and your attitude with where you want to be, and that's what you focus on. This is what I want to do with my career, and that's it. You don't let the negative thoughts creep in. Every day you're going to be advancing yourself towards that position, because your thoughts and what your future looks like in your mind is that you're in this position, that you're in this role, you're this kind of human being. It doesn't have to be work related. It can be personal, the kind of person that I want to be. You just have to remind yourself of that and just put that out there into the universe. And if you focus on that and you stay true to your goals and your visions of where you want to be in the future, then every single day you're going to be making progress towards that goal and towards that vision. If you interrupt it with saying, oh, I can't do it because of such and such reasons, then you won't be able to do it. Mm-hmm. So the most important thing is that you just have to stay focused and positive on where you want to be, and that will become your reality. The thoughts that you put out there, you're going to get back, whether it's through colleagues, whether it's through family, whatever it may be. When you put your desires out into the world, they're gonna come back to you in the future. And so if you have a negative thought, such as I really don't want to work with so and so because I'm not going to be able to get anything done, that's what's going to happen. Yeah. But if you change your perception, you change your attitude, and you say, you know what, I'm gonna try this next time I have to work with this person, and you shift where your attention should be, and you shift the outcome in your mind of what that conversation would look like, or how that work would get completed. It switches the entire dynamic of that relationship and what your outcome is going to end up being. Mm-hmm. So you can determine your reality and what your future looks like by, one, envisioning it, but two, just thinking about it. Mm-hmm. This is what I want this outcome to look like. And if you focus on that thought, that is what that outcome is going to look like. It may not be perfect on the first shot, but you're going to get there.
Yeah, that's very nice. Like what I heard you say there is that, like, your thoughts are important, right? So what thoughts, and thoughts normally will come from your feelings. So if you have negative feelings, then negative thoughts will come. If you have positive feelings, you're a person of gratitude and it's like positive focused person, the mindset, then the feeling that gets generated, even in difficult situations, is like more of a optimistic feeling, positive feeling that, okay, how can I address this issue or challenge? So feelings to thoughts and thoughts to overall attitude. And it's at the end of the day, what I'm hearing is it's more like mindset, Dan, that we always talk about power of mindsets. So the law of attraction is basically making sure that you are intentional about your thoughts, that be a positive person, and have that attitude that attracts people. Right? There's a saying as well that attitude determines your altitude, right? That how high you're going to go, it really depends on your attitude. And so in this case, it's also connected with your other life lessons as well. And when you were sharing this, I'm like, I can see that how everything is interconnected. So when you said, know where you want to go and have that, like overall thinking, positive thinking that you're going to get there, that is also associated with the hard work and knowing what that success looks like, where you want to go, being very clear with your, like your target, your success criteria, and working hard towards it with the right attitude. And also with the relationships, it is so much associated with the relationships as well, because your attitude determines what type of people you're going to attract and you're going to have a relationship with. Because you cannot be a negative person and expect positive people in your life. You're going to gravitate towards negativity 100%. If you are a positive person, you have good attitude, you're going to start attracting more positive people, because like-minded people want to stay around people with similar mindsets. So if you are a positive person, you're going to attract more positive people. The law of attraction as well, right? So, and then they say, there's another saying that great people attracts great people. If great people can be defined as people with the right mindsets, with positive mindsets, with the right attitude, that means they're going to attract other great people with similar mindsets. So then you are building a relationship with right people. And that means company, right? And company determines also your altitude. You are a result of net 5 people that you surround yourself with. So if you are attracting great people, where they're positive, they're driven, they have the right attitude, and you are surrounding yourself with those people, then that means company. You have the right company. And right company matters. And I always share with my children, just don't make a mistake of getting into bad company. Because if you do that, no matter how brilliant you are, how good you are, you're going to get carried away, and you will have that state of mind eventually by hanging out with wrong people, that life is going to be struggle. So like your law of attraction, that thoughts and attitude and its relationship with building relationships and building a relationship with the right people, and then having hard work towards your goals, and have surrounded with the right people, and you being a person with good attitude and positivity, I mean, then everything comes together for you to make progress in your life, and no one can stop you then. No matter what, you will have always better future than your past, because if you have those disciplines. And thank you so much, Dan, for coming to my show and sharing. We appreciate you here a lot. And we will do everything possible to make sure that your future here is always bigger than your past and bigger than anyone, anywhere else. And you take care and stay blessed. Take care.
Thank you so much, Sunny. Really appreciate you having me on here.